Welcome to the Bold, Black, and Bougie Podcast. I am your host, the Meaghan Lindsey. Welcome to this side of podcasting where we take bold steps towards self-love, self-growth, elevating our brands, and turning our dreams into reality. It is my hope that after each and every episode, you leave inspired and informed. Are you ready for your dose of boldness, blackness, and bouginess? Well, keep on listening. Hey y'all, welcome. Wow, I can't believe I'm finally here. I have been talking about starting a podcast for years, and today, y'all, I'm doing it. I do have a slight confession to make. I was standing in my own way. I made up all of these criteria. Like I needed a certain number of followers. I needed to have the perfect setup, the perfect name, and so on. And basically, I was laying out all of these unrealistic expectations, and it was just hindering my progress until one day, as I was gearing up for 2023, even though we are 3 months into 2023, I went at a coffee shop and I started to jot down all of my goals. As usual, I saw podcasts again on the list. I've been having podcasts on the list for at least 3 years now. And it was at that moment that I came up with a name, which has since changed, by the way. And I was like, we're about to do this. So I definitely want to share the funny story about the podcast name, which was inspired by some students who were misbehaving in my class. If you didn't know, I am an educator by day and a content creator by night. And long story short, one of my students, I found a note that they had written about me. And it was quite a note, I'll say that. And on the note, she described me as bold. She said, that bold teacher. And she meant it in a negative way. However, I turned it into a positive because I am bold, which means to me that I am confident. Not too long after that, y'all, I had another student upset with a consequence he received. And as I was letting him know his consequence, he blurted out, "You're just bougie." And I was like, is that supposed to be? Like, what is that supposed to, is that supposed to hurt me? And I was like, you know what? I am bougie. Thank you for realizing that. I think he really meant it as negative. I took it as, that is me. I'm glad you realized that I am bougie. But nonetheless, after he called me bougie along with the other few words, I took that as, yes, I definitely am. And I agree with the description, bougie. But what sealed the deal, y'all? What sealed the deal was I was shopping in my favorite Target, or should we call it Target for the bouginess, right? And I was shopping at Target and I saw this sweatshirt, crop top sweatshirt, and it read, bold, black, and bougie. And at that moment, I remembered those two students, the first one that called me bold and the second one that called me bougie. And well, you know, I am black. So I was like, oh, I have to get this sweatshirt. And I did buy it. It was just like an aha moment. I took those negative encounters and turned them into a positive. And that is how the podcast name was born. And voila, we are here. Guys, what really is, out of the ordinary is, for once in my content creator life, I don't have a big plan, which is very unlike me. I'm going to let you know that I'm a big planner, but I'm going to just let things flow because I believe my best work is unplanned. It's straight from the heart. There's something beautiful about unplanned work because it's raw, it's unfiltered, and that's what I really want this podcast to be. I want it to be me telling you my experiences as a single mother, as an educated, successful Black woman, a daughter, a sister, and a content creator. I want to enlighten and encourage you through my many journeys that I have had and that I'm currently still on, and the many challenges that I have endured, but most importantly, the many breakthroughs that I have had. So I ask you to stick around and subscribe to the podcast because we have a lot to talk about. And before I let you go, I always want to leave off on a positive note. And I'm going to read one of the quotes for the day, and it is just enlightens me. It's by Michelle Obama, and it says, "One of the lessons that I grew up with was to always stay true to yourself and never let what somebody else says distract you from your goals." And in this case, it was me distracting me from my goals, me wanting to be perfect, me wanting to not start just yet because I didn't feel like I was good enough. But as I continue on my journey, I know that I have to stay true to myself. And in order to get to my goals, I have to start somewhere. So thank you so much for sticking around on this first trailer episode of the podcast. And guys, I definitely want to let you know that we have lots of topics to discuss, all surrounding self-love, self-growth, motherhood, content creator journeys, struggles. So I am ready and I'm geared up, and I'll talk to you in my next episode.